he's giving me these long speeches, right? He be down there, man, what you going to do with your life or something? And I used to look at this dude like, man, all the lies I done told you, you still going to sit there and try to talk to me, but he knew I would lie, so he would just, after a year, he would just sit me in the office and just talk. And then when I try to respond, he'd be like, you ain't got to respond. This ain't you. This is your punishment. You got to listen to me.
I'm moving forward. Every mission trip I ever go on, there's always something that I take back tangible. And when I went on that first mission trip, I realized that when you grow up in America, you kind of get the feeling that God is only for us.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mia Hall. You are listening to Parables from the Projects. We are at episode 5. So exciting. I am Mia Hall, a.k.a. Mia Hall 19, a.k.a. Nay Nay from East New York.
And I am Gordy from Brownsville. Never ran, never will. A.k.a. Gorgeous Gordy, a.k.a. Keep the Shape You In, y'all. Yeah,
what was the second a.k.a. you said?
Well, it was a.k.a. Gorgeous Gordy 9.
And then
it was a.k.a. Keep the Shape You In. I don't even know what a.k.a. means, but I heard you say it, so I wanted to.
Okay, no.
But y'all can follow me at
Gordy
9. Correct.
All right.
Because I was just following the millennial. Oh, you ain't no millennial. Are you a millennial, man?
Technically.
You are?
Yes. Don't.
Oh, okay.
Don't.
I got you. I wasn't going to say your age.
I know I did say you were older since the last podcast.
I wasn't going to say you 50 years old. I had you when I was 1.
But yeah, man. So happy to be back. Happy to be black. Happy to be
happy to be back and happy to be black.
Happy to be another year older, you know. So man, what's going on? I'll start with you though. I'll start with my elder. I'm older, but I'm not the elder. So, you know, what's going on with you?
So I have a job. Like I know, like if my old friends listen to this, it's gonna be like, "What you mean you got a job? A job? Yeah, I got a real job, so I got a lot of responsibility in the summertime. So it's kind of stressful, but it's kind of a weird stressful because see, it's a good stress because I got a job. Like a long time ago, I would be stressed and say, "Damn, I'm messing around, go to jail tonight, or something like it, or I might get hurt tonight because of where I'm going," you know.
Mm-hmm.
But now you stressed out like, yo, I got to get this report done. Like, that's just a different kind of stress when you don't think you're going to get shot doing your report.
Mm.
Like, growing up the way, you know, when people grow up with the ignorance that I grew up with, it's like, you know, every day you leave your house, you never know if you're coming home or, you know, you could rather die or go to jail, even though that shit can happen anyway. But I'm just saying, when you out there looking for the trouble, anyway, but that's what's happening with me. So I got this back and forth battle. I mean, back and forth movie going on in my head. Like me as a kid, and my mindset is now me as an adult. You know, going to work every day, taking care of bills. You know, responsibilities. You know, doing shit like that. Got job friends instead of, you know, it's crazy. It's just a crazy thing where I'm starting to really enjoy it.
Well, I'm glad that you're enjoying it.
Yeah. Old age knowing some shit. I'm telling you, it's an enlightening experience. I mean, when you're getting older, you think you're gonna be looking like, you know, if you see them old people with canes, maybe a wrinkle, but they be living their best life. They like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm glad to be old right now. I done seen it and did it. I think your body has an expiration. So I don't think they sad at all. I think they be like, yeah, I can't wait to get up out this motherfucking body. And get me up into the heavenly body. You know what I'm saying? Especially us who believe. So that's another thing. I don't know how, if you think you're going to die and ain't nothing happening, how you even going to live a life? I mean, I don't want to knock people who don't believe, but I'm just saying.
You're just saying. Oh, I hear you. All right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
What's going on with me? I just celebrated a birthday on Monday. Woo, praise God. Happy to see another year. Also was able to do some fun things. Went to see Tone Bell on Friday.
Who's Tone Bell?
He's a comedian.
Oh, all right. Say that, dog. I didn't know that. Get out of here. He was funny?
Yes, he was funny. So, yep, went to see him on Friday. Saturday I worked to make sure that, you know, I'm lining up my goals for the year. Sunday, I went to church, but we also had a prayer group. We launching our women's prayer group, me and my friends. And Monday, I chilled out, went to the beach. Plan on going back to the beach tomorrow. Oh, yesterday I saw E. Daddy, I think I told you, was with E.T., the hip-hop preacher. Very thankful for his...
You didn't tell me that. You was with him?
Yeah, that's who I was with when you called.
And he said, what's up?
Yeah, he did tell you that. I said, what's up? My phone was dead, though. I know, the whole time.
Yo, son, you mean tell you was at E.T., and I didn't get the chance to talk to him because your phone died?
Yeah, my phone was just dead. It was completely dead.
Your podcasts are done. Yo.
Podcast.
How you with E.T. though, word? How you with E.T. yo, son? I'm listening to his stuff every day now. Little snippets that he put on Instagram. But yeah, finish it.
So we got to see him in Philly, August 9th. Come to Philly.
Oh, I'm going. Hell yeah. Philly.
You got to take off.
I'm bringing my piece.
Your job.
I don't care.
Okay.
I can take off. I got days. Shit, that's what I'm saying. I got a real job.
Okay, put in August 9th. That's the date. We out.
All right. August 9th, me and Mia podcast. We're going to drop a podcast on August 9th. We're going to tell y'all all about the visit to ET, whatever the studio, whatever to the conference, whatever it is.
Yep, the verified
so
conference.
All right, cool. Good. Finish your thing, because we about to add this on to the whole podcast, taking trips. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I told them this is a raw podcast, so they know what they're getting, right, listeners? And shout out to everybody who sent me feedback. I know I've been sharing this a lot, as we are first starting out. So my friends have been giving me feedback, and I really appreciate it. Anybody who leaves a comment or anything, and thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank you for everybody who gave me a birthday shout out. Oh, shout out to Voyage LA magazine for the feature this week too. It was awesome to be able to share my story. How my dad, how my mom inspired me and supported me in my trip to LA too, moving away from home for the first time, outside of college. So thank you, Pops.
No doubt, no diggity.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's get it. Now I'm ready. Let's get it. It's that time. Let's get it. They wanted the whole thing. You know I got it. Let's get it.
We are talking about the parables of the day. So, last week, we let y'all know that y'all would hear more about the group home, which had such a major impact on my dad's life. So, Pops, why don't you break it down for us, what that experience was like?
So, when they finally got tired of me getting locked up, when you go into Spofford, back and forth to Spofford, which is a juvenile lockup, you get a certain amount of cases. They send you upstate, for a longer period of time. You might go to Spofford, you might stay in there going back and forth to court for 6 or 7 months. I never did more than 5 months in there. So I don't know. But anyway, so I had caught another case when I went home, and the judge was like, we're going to send them away for a year and a half to, because they should give you a sentence 18 months. That shit, when you're a juvenile. So it's a lockup jail they send you to for that 18 months, and you don't get to go home. Yeah, it's a lockup. It's like a jail for juveniles. Anyway, Tryon or Scotia, one of them. This counselor dude said, they have guidance counselors that's in the court they have help for kids who go to court. It's like a whole experience. Because I've been to court, and there's counselors that come up to you, but you be like, get out of here. But this time my mom's was there, and the counselor said that we might could get your son into this group home instead of go to the lockup, because he's going to become a hardened criminal if he goes there. So anyway, so they get me to go. So he talks my mother, and I cop out to the 7. I think I had 7 open cases. I pled guilty to them all, avoid trial. They send me to this group home. I do a year and a half, do 18 months there, and they say, good behavior, I might be out of there in 6 months. But I wound up doing 3 years in this group home, so that all joke. I got arrested in the group home. I got, I snuck out. I used to sneak out to Brooklyn. So yeah, getting into the group home is its own story in itself. So that's crazy. And that's another thing about parables. That's why we name it a parable, because my whole life has been like that. Some crazy twist to just not make me, be a criminal, but not to where I hate everybody and I start killing people. So I went to a group home, which I learned a lot, even though I got kicked out of that in 3 years. No, they changed the group home program, so I turned 19 in the group home. But now, the group home I was in, so it was called Urban Group Home number 11, I think. And when I got there, it's house parents. So you have these two people that live in the house. This is a program, I guess the city was trying to rehabilitate some inner city kids. They sent them to a group home in Long Island and probably all over. This one was in a regular neighborhood. I guess there was a protest before we got there because, we lived in a house where house parents and people used to live on the first floor. They had like 6 rooms upstairs for the group home boys, and that's what we was called because we went to a regular high school. And our high school, it was a really good Huntington high school, so it was a good high school. And when I got there, I wasn't even in high school. I got there and I think I was in 7th grade when I got to the group home. So I stayed there till I was in 10th grade when I dropped.
What do you think are some of the lessons that you learned? Or
all right, so okay.
Like a parable.
But a parable is like
a story that taught you a lesson from the group home.
So I'm gonna tell you this from the group. So what we got to do is remember that at the end of the 10th season, if we are where I'm at now, we got to remember that I'm just realizing. So let's say in 1996. Let's say 1995. So I started understanding what the Bible and getting saved was. So that's when me and Mia used to be like, oh, Sweat, we used to meet each other, we used to see each other and be like, oh, Sweat, that's like a miracle that you're here and I'm here at the same time. Mm. And then it would happen like from time to time. So now as I'm even older now, I'm like, oh, Sweat, here go a story I'm telling about the group home. And then as I'm telling the story about the group home, I went to court to cop out. I was going to trial for like 3 cases, and the judge gave me a plea bargain at 15, which they don't really do, to my mother. Like, like they just send you upstate. You're a bad kid. I got 7 arrests. I've been to spot for like 5 times already. I've been to other group homes, so I was I was a troubled child. But I never. So it was always somebody. Now listen to even before the group home, I had 6 open cases before I got that last open case, and I was in court and I was going to take them to trial. But then the judge and this other lady counselor said, "No, Your Honor, can I approach the bench?" And this lady got me. She said, "Well, he's only 14, so can we charge him with a youthful offender and only give him 3 years probation and 6 months in jail?" So this is the weirdest part about this story. Wait. This is crazy.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, so now, all right. So the biblical part, that's where we were at. So what I'm trying to say is I had a bunch of shit going on at the time. I was supposed to go to jail a long time ago, but this is the second time somebody came up there when the judge was about to sentence me and come out of nowhere because counselors can't stop a proceeding, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Because it happened. I mean, it's in records, but anyway. This is like the second time it happened. So how did I get to and then like when I went to jail, the DA asked the judge to give me a lighter sentence. The DA. I'm putting all these pieces together. It's crazy. Like God has always sent somebody to help me in all areas. So as you listen to the podcast, in every area, I'm talking about like even when I went to jail, a dude surrounded my bed, then another guy, a voice yells out, no, that's somebody. Anyway. So getting into this group home, man, and all the things that happened for me to even get to a group home at this time. I had probably had over 10 arrests. I had so much stuff going on at that time in the criminal system, but then all my other friends was upstate with like 4 arrests. So I kept having a counselor speak for me at the courthouse. So then So now we're gonna get back to that later on when we talk in depth about court systems and all that, and about how I got to any jail and the sentences and the jails I went to, anyway, and why I didn't do 10 years. But look, so back to the group home, right? So now so they get me in the group home. Now, the group home, so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to just do 6 months here and get out. I'm going to try to, I didn't think I was going to try to be good. I just thought that, I would get out in 6 months. But anyway, as I'm in the group home, I wound up being there. First, I was there I didn't get the 6-month deal because I messed up going home or something. They caught me sneaking out. They caught me sneaking out the group home. Like some dudes used to climb. I used to go out the front door at night, but some dudes used to climb out their window and sneak back in their window. But this guy, so I met this dude. So this is the first time I even understood that it was good white people. And I can't even front. So yeah, I'm in the group home. Now I meet Jeff and Carla Tinsman. It's this white couple. Now they smart as shit, but they wanted to help some inner city kids. And I don't know if it was all inner city kids. They wanted to help kids because it was a white boy in the group home when I went there. It was a white dude named John. So it was him. It was a white dude. It was 2 other black dudes there when I got there. But I wound up listening to this crazy stuff. So I wound up just being this dude from Brownsville. Remember, I said I had I knew how to dress. I had a wardrobe that was crazy. I had like 20 pair of footwear. Like I had like 5 pair of shoes, 10 pair of sneakers. I had boots, Timbs. I had all types of clothes. So the owners of the group home was like, because you get your own room. And so I had sheepskins. I had all these clothes, and like I'm 15 years old, and I had all this shit. So I didn't know, they was like, this is a little thieving motherfucker, because he had a lot of stuff. But anyway, and then the other dudes in there was looking at me kind of funny, but I wound up getting cool with them anyway. And ain't nobody never tried nothing. The dude did sneak thief me one time. Somebody AWOL from the group home, but they snuck in my room, and just left the group home. So it wasn't like he took it from me. So he snuck in my, and I still never saw that dude over there. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. So the group home, this is the fly and the biblical part about the group home. These 2 dudes, so the lady and the man, Jeff and Carl, and they had a little baby called, the little baby boy was Danny. He was like 2 years old. And they had these inner city kids in a group home. We could have been anything, and I was crazy, but I wouldn't hurt no kids. That's the funny thing about it, because it was other dudes in there for like robbery. One dude was in there because he was sticking up stores in Flatbush, and they want to rehabilitate you, but the house parents was like a regular family. I guess they was living rent free, and they probably get a check or whatever. It was crazy because I started to trust these house parents. Like at first, for the first year, I didn't even care nothing about them. They used to be trying to talk to us and have meetings and shit. And, it was corny. So I was real rebellious for that first year I was there. But the weird part about it is then I started listening to this dude. Like, I was a liar. Like, I was this big liar because I had a story for everything. Like, I was a smooth criminal in the streets. So I thought that shit worked around smart people. That's when I really understood that grown-ups are smart. They know when your ass is lying. But anyway, we used to get in trouble, right? Oh yeah, so these house parents grew on you. Like I can tell you all the stories happened before they started, but I'm trying to hit you to how am I like this now? Like why do I have a job? How did I do all that bad stuff and then I'm here with a good job? You know what I'm saying? And and how did I come home? Why am I helping kids? Whatever. So Jeff and Carla, like, he used to pull me in the office and in the house, and he used to say, he'd give me these long speeches, right? He'd be down there, man, what you gonna do with your life or something? And I used to look at this dude like, man, all the lies I done told you, you still gonna sit there and try to talk to me? But he knew I would lie, so he would just, after a year, he would just sit me in the office and just talk. And then when I try to respond, he'd be like, you ain't gotta respond. This is your punishment. You gotta listen to me. Yo, Mia, you know what I'm thinking? You remember when you said I used to always talk to y'all?
Right. And now you're remembering that he did that to you.
Yo, son. And I didn't care. I stopped everything, right? Whoever got in trouble a speech, and Tiffany, we got to have Tiffany on the phone with them so they could, they could validate that. Remember?
Yes.
That's crazy. But wait, I thought I got it from somewhere else. Wait a minute. That's crazy.
Maybe it was a combination.
It had to be. So now listen, as I'm telling this story, it's crazy. Like, this man used to not want to hear. Like, when we got in trouble, they would line everybody up downstairs on the couch, and they'd be like, yo, who did it? But then when Jeff come to them, Jeff be like, oh, wait, no, Gordy, go upstairs. you on punishment for 4 months. Look, he just straight up because he know I'm alive. This white dude, this older, he was like, he wasn't an old man, but he was he was dead serious about his kids. And we was his motherfucking kids, and not no old white swear over no black dude. Like, I didn't give a fuck about him for a year. You talking about? I just respected his gangster. You know, he didn't give a fuck. He had his kid in the group home, a brand new baby. So you know he don't think. So he's saying in his mind, they're saying black people and hoodlums are killers, rapists, and all that, right? But we was real criminals in this dude's house, or in the house that they provided, because they was educated whites. They had like degrees from like Yale or something. They had some, and they was like these genius, like just really smart people. They could have been professors in a college, but they chose to help kids. You know what I'm saying? This is their give back.
Yeah, the
point I'm trying to make about that is that it's some people, right? You know, he know the character of anybody when he meets them. To say all black kids are, a criminal will go down a slippery slope from pickpockets to murder is insane. To think that we all are exactly alike is insane. And to not give anybody, because like I said, it was a white dude in the program too, to not give anybody a second chance of a normal household, what a man is supposed to do. Not even supposed to, but what helps. Give it anyway. This is deep. I'm glad you told me to go back to the group home because, Mia, this dude used to talk to me for hours. That was my punishment, and I couldn't say nothing. Damn, and I did that to y'all, like all of y'all. They should be like, here comes the speech.
And I mean, though he was put there to take care of you, it kind of reminds you of the prodigal son. I mean, like, even though you would kind of like never listen, but
that's exactly me. Wait till it gets to the end, right? When it gets to the 3 year, when that dude left, I ain't tell nobody. I went upstairs and cried. They budget cuts got him out. Like, budget cuts changed the some black dude came in. Not that I'm hating on black people, but this is 1980. So you talking about this dude came into the program and made a different structure to save money, which I guess that's what they hired. When budget cuts came on group homes and you could tell a shift, I always tell people I know when the crime got worse because they stopped trying to help kids. They just start locking them up. Because I'm a perfect example
of what happened when it was budget cuts.
Right. So now look at what we talking about. We're not even putting that shit. You don't even know that I might have lived. That era I was living, they were setting it up for this in this massive incarceration thing, and not massive incarceration, but the fact that they don't even try to help the kids no more. And that probably was the beginning. They was cutting those house parents from living for free, and not even for living free, but they knew that them programs might have been working. Because listen, to dig this. Because first, the dude cut out the college program. Because when you turn 18 in that group home and you graduate high school, they pay for college. So they cut that out first. Then they said when you turn 18, you got to leave. Matter of fact, that's how I got out. I turned 18. Because I was trying to go on even though I was still robbing people, we got to save this part. Because this part might be a direct connection to this whole, just to have lived the change. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just I already told you, like, counselors used to come to court in the middle of the case and be like, "Excuse me, Your Honor, I want to talk to the whatever defendant," and they would speak to you and they say, "Listen, I'm from DFY, Division for Youth." Matter of fact, I think they'd be like, "I'm from some organization and we're here to help young people to try to not go to jail or to no lockup," because they knew Goshen and Tryon was like. It's just like a rec sound. But listen, it was fun. So let me tell, we get back to this whole group, because the group home might be a whole movie in itself. And then because it was 3 years I did in it. So and then I became like a senior dude, and the guys couldn't even go out. When the kids came in from the street, they had to come into my room and ask me could I take them out to the store, after school or something. Because that's the only freedom you get to go to school. You get on a school bus and go to school. And you go to like a white school. Like Huntington High was like majority white people.
Except
and it was a really good high school.
Except for the guys that were in the group home.
No, they had other black kids in the neighborhood, but I'm saying, it was like 10.
Majority.
Like, right. It was like 10. And I used to hitch. My high school, my second year, I used to hitch to school from the group home. And young white boys in my class used to be in Cadillacs. Yeah, like when I was 17. Yeah. Oh man. And look, I went there. They football team. I played football, but I didn't play when we got to high school because I really didn't stay in high school. But I played in the junior high school, and they had full equipment. Like it was nothing like growing up in Brooklyn. Like they had mouthpiece, they had real equipment like the pros. Like not no ghetto. Yeah, it was crazy, And I played running back. Word. I forgot all about these stories. Wow, this is crazy. No, that group home was deep and deep. I'm gonna tell you, even though when I turned 8, because I'm gonna tell you, I did a year and a half, and I asked to stay for another year so I could finish school, and they granted me to stay. Even though, this is the crazy thing, even though I was robbing people out there, like not robbing, picking pockets, and I was using credit cards. And look, we was robbing cribs. Like we would go rake leaves, and then knock on the door like we have a rake, and then we act like we're gonna. But if nobody answers the door, we break in the house and steal the jewelry and go back to the group home. But listen to the crazy part about that is the group home is all the shit I do. That dude who taught me how to cook, taught me to shut the fuck up. That's what I do now. Not that I cook, but I mean the discipline. The disciplines in that program and in that shock program. Jail ain't teach me shit. And I've been there 50 times. And when we get to Rikers Island, those stories gonna be bananas. So now you hearing this good stuff. I'm coming out the group home like I was turning into a good guy. No, it never even crossed my mind to stop hustling while I was in the group home for the 3 years I was there. Even when I was trying to go to college, I still knew I would always hustle and get high. So you gotta, we talking about a little kid like I had. You talking about some biblical. You want to talk about a new creature. I forgot all about the group. We talking about group. Now you talking from 14 to 18, or 14 is when I started getting arrested, but 15 is when they sent me somewhere when I turned 15. So, and look, and I was in that motherfucker for 3 years, but I was going home every month, and then sometimes I would get on punishment, or they would call it restriction for like 6 months or 4 months, but you do something real good for a couple of months, for a month or two. And they'll take it off and let you get a visit. You get home visits from the group. So in Brownsville, at one time they would call me home. It was another name for me other than Gordy. It was group home boy, because I used to always look at the clock, because I used to sneak. Like when I go to school, I wouldn't go to school. I would sneak on the train. I would get under the Long Island Railroad seats. I could fit underneath the damn seat. That's how small I was.
And that's how you. Oh, boy.
And I would sit from Huntington to, the train go to motherfucking Atlantic in East New York. The train stops right in East New York. I just walk to Brownsville. And then at night, I get on the last train going back, sneak in that joint. I'll be back in the group home by curfew time.
Wait, wait.
Yeah. Break it down. You want to hear some stories? What?
Wait, but you used to ride the train under the seat for the whole ride?
Under the seat. For the whole ride, Mia. Smoking
like bend under, or used to lay under?
So this is how small I could bend my knees and I fit under. Next time you get on the Long Island Railroad, it's the same train. Look under the seat. And that's how small a nigga was doing crime. Then my legs, though, my legs was bent, but in the back seat.
Dang, I want to bring up, because I know a big part of it, or at least when I always used to hear you talk about the group home, you talk about how my mom had clothes for you, even though she was
mom. So now,
just a little bit, but think about Audrey.
I know. I am. Wendy and Michelle was the two girls from Brownsville that everybody wanted. But I started talking to Wendy, and my man Wiz started talking to Michelle. But when I went to the group home, Michelle and Wendy used to come see me and bring me clothes. And so Wendy's the same exact age as me. And so Michelle is the same age as Wendy. I think Wendy's older than Michelle. So we all was 15 at the time anyway, or 16. But they used to bring me like Jordache jeans, Adidas sneakers, and nylons. We used to wear nylon underwear, match the set. So they used to come up to the group home. I remember they gave me a rope chain. So the dudes in the group home thought I was the king of everything. Because first of all, I came in with
King of Wakanda.
stuff.
I was gonna say Zamunda, now it's Wakanda.
King of Wakanda. I was Chinchilla. Yo, I was king for that joke. Then the funny part is that after the dudes who when I first got there left, when dudes came in, they used to see me and be looking at me like they want to rob me or something. Because it's dudes coming from a bad place, but they getting a break. That's crazy, right?
All right, so you learned a lot from the group home, especially from, the person that was over it, Caucasian gentleman that, that always was talking to you. And, it sounds like the parable is almost like the prodigal son, never give up on young people, right? I feel like that's it. Or never give up on people, period. You think that they're not listening, you think that they won't come back, you think that they won't turn around, because you're telling them things and they're not listening. They might not listen now, but they're going to listen in the future. Or at least, you hope that they survive. Unfortunately, some people really don't survive. And you hope that they survive long enough to be able to learn that lesson and also, make an impact on somebody else's life with it. So I know that after you left the group home, it wasn't a long time, or maybe it was, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but after you left the group home, it wasn't a long time before, you were back in the streets, back in Brownsville, and, eventually ended up at Rikers Island. So I would love to get into that on the next episode. Is that true? How long after 18 did you go away, to where you went into shock?
I went to jail. I got arrested when I left the group home. I got arrested that day. I left the group home, I got arrested that day, came home, I was robbing people on the train ride home. And I think I got arrested, but they let me go, and then I started living with this dude named Cripple Mike. And me and him was like, we was ridiculous, weren't we? So it'll get into Brownsville. Then I lived in Brownsville. That was my definitely trip to Brownsville. Matter of fact, I didn't go straight to Brownsville. My pops was still living, and I found his name because they wouldn't let me out the group home without a place to stay. And my mom's had moved to California, but I found my father. He was living in Harlem, and I used his address. And I went there, I think, a couple of times. I think when I just used his address, but when I came home, I went to 266 Rochester Avenue, Cripple Mike House. And I was staying with him, but I was registered to live in Manhattan. But matter of fact, no, I didn't get to Cripple. I was living everywhere. I was living in Manhattan, and I was living with Uwe at Uwe Mother House. Not living there, but stop at, we used to sleep there. We used to sleep at his uncle's house. So it's a lot, man. This story, because my mind is gonna go crazy. So we're gonna have to kind of just hit snippets, and then in the next episodes we have full length stories. I was gambling, I was getting high. It's just crazy. But just a life of just you out there, just living, just you're not knowing if you're gonna die, but you don't care, and then you definitely don't care about living because you're like, this shit is for the birds anyway. You're not thinking about living like I'm a raise a family, I'm a help kids, I'm gonna inspire somebody to be somebody, I'm a be somebody myself. You just wanted to hustle, and whatever happened. It wasn't like it was a plan. Like, I wake up, I'll be like, yo, it'll be a plan where I'm going to take some money, and if I get some money before I get to that place, I'm not even going to that place. Anyway, and then every girl, whichever girl you seen was for if you could talk to them and, make it your girl, that's it. Yeah, you just lived a different life. You didn't care about politics. You didn't care about health care. You didn't care about none of that shit. You didn't want to get shot. Yeah, you didn't want to, you just was hanging out. Whole nother code. So it's a lot to impact.
It's a lot, but thankfully, there was a program that helped you to change your mindset, and so I look forward to telling the listeners about that next episode. All right, y'all. So we've come to the portion of the show where we like to highlight someone. Our Parables from the Projects Person of the Week. So I want to give a big shout out to Audrey, a.k.a. Wendy. That's my mama.
A.k.a. my baby mama.
Yep, my pop's baby mama. Shout out to Mom Dukes, man, my biggest inspiration. Holding me down since 80, you know what I mean? We probably will have to say it eventually on the podcast, but not today. So, Mom, I thank you for life. I thank you for the sacrifices that you made for me. And, yeah, man, can't wait to see you soon. And I miss you.
Wendy Love.
Like to serve the world with the new crack. About to put the squad on the map. Man, I'm really with the game, boy. You can't sub me out. Man, they really scream the game out loud. Boy, I'm trying to let the game right now. That's cash, give me change right now. Won't switch it up. Boy, we locking it, so who you picking up?
All right, y'all. So that's it for today. Thank you for checking out another episode of Parables from the Projects. Like we always say, thank you for those who left a review. Make sure that if you're on iTunes, leave us a review and share it with a friend. If you're on any platform, whether that's Google Play, Spotify, Libsyn, we're out here. So thank you so much. We love when you share it on your IG stories. You can take a screenshot and, share it on your IG or Facebook stories. And make sure you follow us. I'm at Mia_Hall19. My dad is at GorgeousGordy9. And you can also check out the website, miahall19.com/podcast for updates. And we look forward to seeing you next week. And I also want to give a special shout out to Paul G. Thank you for letting us use your music for this episode.
I'm moving forward. Every mission trip I ever go on, there's always something that I take back tangible. And when I went on that first mission trip, I realized that when you grow up in America, you kind of get the feeling that God is only for us.